All right, welcome back. Well, let's bring in now former Labor Senator Nova Peris in Darwin. Nova, great to see you on the show again. Look, if you were in Sydney, we'd be probably popping the champagne together. What's your reaction to the end of Adam Bount's political career?
I was up every morning thinking to myself, when are they going to update the AEC, and watching the swing going against Adam. And I was thinking, when is it finally going to happen? And sure enough, it happened. And there's been a lot of jubilation, actually. So, I was part of a grassroots movement called Better Australia, and we targeted key seats across Australia where there were the Teals and the Green candidates, and we were a grassroots movement where we wanted one of the major parties to be elected and to be able to govern outright and not rely on these radicals for power, and for the betterment of this country and the stability of this country as well.
And that is, I suppose, one of the positives from this election outcome. Were you disappointed that in the vast majority of cases, Labor did preference the Greens second? Was that a disappointment for you?
Look, as you know, I'm well out of politics. I've been out since 2016. And, I've been on your show a couple of times, and I've been very vocal about a number of things with regards to Labor making decisions, especially around, the protection of Jewish Australians and the rise of anti-Semitism. So I guess this is what democracy is all about. You can say yes and no about certain things, but I guess for a Labor perspective, it's one thing to say that, but Labor has come off quite victorious. It's probably one of the most successful victories in political history. I think they're moving up to 91 seats now, which is a huge win for Labor. But I think the great thing about this now is Anthony Albanese and his cabinet has a mandate to deliver, hopefully, on all the promises, but also bring stability back in Australia, and actually to stamp out the hate that we see weekly, Sharri, on the footpaths of this beautiful country, which is turning pear-shaped and not well on the international scene as well.
I assume there you're referring to the pro-Palestinian protests. But Nova, we haven't seen any willingness by Labor, by the likes of Tony Burke, who's the Multicultural Affairs Minister, or by any others, to stamp out that behaviour. So, I mean, do you think they are going to start now?
Well, I hope so. In my opinion, you look at the seats of Tony Burke, Chris Bowen and Jason Clare, who all held seats in the Western Sydney areas where we see a lot of the vicious and the violent hatred upon the Jewish community, and the chanting of Free Palestine. You and I both know what that means. It's the erasure of the Jewish people in their own homeland, which the Jewish people have had an unbroken connection for 4,000 years. And, what I do like and love about Chris Minns, who's been very strong and staunch on this, and I think his leadership is incredible. And I hope now that Labor federally can take a leaf out of his, from him, and to say, well, this is what leadership looks like. And he's not scared to say it. And the fact that he also has experience in the Middle East and has been there himself to Israel speaks from a personal connection. So, I can't see Labor just being another term. They could possibly be there for 2 terms. And I think that Anthony Albanese needs to draw a line in the sand and, look after Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East, and also acknowledge the significant amount of contribution that the Jewish people have made to this country.